Hello, fellow watch enthusiast. Today I wanted to do a video on how to adjust that bracelet of yours, especially bracelets that have push pins. So today we're going to work on the Bulova that I made a video about not too long ago. Wait, let's go to the bottom of that box. Fold it apart. Anyway, this watch I did decide to keep. It's a good looking watch. The more I look at it, the more I like it. And so today we're going to take off some of those links so that this thing actually fits me. Because right now there's just no way it'll fit me. Look how big that thing is. Andre the Giant style bracelet. Anyway, I'm gonna take this little tag off of here, and then we'll start getting into setting up this bracelet to fit proper. So there's a couple methods of doing this that are fairly similar. One involves a little hammer, one involves a little push tool. I know, look at that watch pan. I don't want to blind you. Put on another watch. There you go. It's a quartz kind of day. We're adjusting the quartz, so we might as well wear a quartz. So here's one method. Not ding up the watch. As you can see, it's got a little pin that pushes out, the push pin on the bracelet. I put a little masking tape on here so that it won't scratch any kind of watch part when we're working with it, potentially. The other method, put that out of the way, is this, which you end up placing the watch on here. There's little holes at the bottom of this, and then you would take your hammer, take your little tiny hammer for scale, and then there's these little hand push pins that you would kind of hammer these pins out. Now normally I do this method. I feel it's a little safer than hammering because there's always the risk that you're going to miss, especially when you have a phone camera in your face. So for today, I'll be doing this method. It's just a little safer. Okay, so normally I'm going to try to get this into the camera. It's hard because the bracelet isn't that malleable. But as you can see, you gotta bring it over to the center so it focuses. There we go. You can see there's arrows on the back of the bracelet. That is telling you which direction you should push the push pins out. You're going that way, that way, right? So it's letting you know what direction to push them push pins. This is gonna be awkward, but we'll figure it out together. And again, with the camera in my face, it's fairly difficult. I'm normally pretty up close, but I can't because there's a camera right there. So that's all there is to it. You turn this unscrew it back out so that you can release the watch out of there. Pull the pin out, set that to the side, and there you go. Nice and open for you. Now that it's nice and open, it's a lot easier to see what you're doing. You always want to go just to the ones that have the arrows. So for instance, I'm going to bring this closer. So for instance, you're not going to want to fool around here unless you have the tools to reset that pin, which most people normally don't. And this is the little kit that came in. Bring the camera out a little bit. This is that kit that it came in. I got this off of Amazon for fairly cheap. It did come with a bunch of parts that I mean, it's pretty nice. It did come with a bunch of spring bars, a case back tool, which is fairly useless, and little teeth parts for the case back remover, which is pretty nice. Although even when it came in, you could see, maybe you can see on the camera, there's like rust in there. So these are already rusting. I should probably dip them in oil and then put them in some different kind of case. But for now, we're not gonna worry about that. The quality of those tools is fairly questionable. However, it was pretty darn cheap. I think I spent $14 on it, so not bad. Bring the camera back down. I apologize for the jarring that you may have been exposed to. Quick turn. You are going to save these pins, so if you're doing this at home, save those pins. Do not throw these pins away. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you throw those pins away? Set that to the side. I'm adjusting this all the way because I'm assuming that there's no way that is going to fit me with any extra links. So, all right, so you can see the arrow. There we go. This camera, I apologize. This thing doesn't like to auto adjust. See the arrow going that way? Okay. Wait. Maybe we should do one this way, although I don't like to do it this way, and it's going to be hard with the camera. But just so you know what I'm talking about here. Place your little pen tool, you actually focus the camera, and then you give it a little smack, even though this bracelet doesn't want to stand straight. So it's pretty similar to the other tool, but I feel like there's always the chance you're gonna miss with this and scratch the side of that. I really don't like the hammer method, but there's one for you just so you know what I'm talking about, how it works. So now we're gonna get rid of that and get rid of that. Yuck. Probably easier if you're not trying to record it, but for our purposes today, this tool is much better. Okay, so that's out. Do a little push, see if the pen will come out on its own. It did. Set that to the side. Okay. Now you have your little clasp. You have your watch. And we're going to want to make sure that Bulova symbol is facing the proper direction. So that's how it would be. Like that. Otherwise, it'd be upside down when you close your clasp. And no one likes that. No one likes that. Okay, here we go. Now we got to get a couple of those pins back. Gotta make sure we put them in the proper direction. So let's go up here. Put that down. So there's a little, see that split right there? Creates tension in that little hole that it settles in. So that's the direction it comes out, right? You're pushing from that flat side. From the solid side. That's where you're pushing from. So that's where the pusher is pushing this thing out. And then you're going to want to settle it back in. Oh, sorry. You're going to want to settle it back in the other way. So you're going to push in from that side. So we find the bracelet. We find the arrow. Oh. There's the arrow. And we're going to go in the opposite direction. Now here's where the hammer is going to come in handy. And we are going to grab this silly plastic thing. And we're going to put this onto here so it's a little bit more stable. And we're going to use the plastic side of the hammer, and we're going to hammer that right back in there. That's it. Now potentially you can take some tweezers or this thing and push it a little further in there, which I normally do. I give it a little firm push, not to push it through, but to make sure that it's actually flush. And you can see it's not totally flush. Now it is flush. There's no link sticking out of there. Okay, we're gonna go to the other side. We're gonna find that arrow. Here's our arrow. It's really tough not having autofocus. I always gotta bring my finger up there and tap the screen. And then we're gonna find that pin piece. Oh my goodness. There's your split. Gonna drop her in there. And same thing. Make sure that it's actually going to push through to the other side and that's not at an angle. So we're just doing damage to the push pin. We're gonna hammer that boy back in. And it doesn't want to go back in. Alright. Sometimes these pins don't want to listen. Just gotta give them a little bit more. Okay? Give them a little bit more reason to get in there. So we can see there's no extra part of that pin sticking. Well, maybe a little bit. Come over. This camera mount is pretty terrible. It's always in the way. Give it a little push. It didn't really do anything, so I'm going to call it. Okay? So now, move the camera out a little bit. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way so if I drop a watch, apologies for the coffee maker automatically turning off in the background back there. So now we're going to see if this guy fits. And as you can see from the date and the time, it has not changed since that last video. I haven't worn this because, well, it wouldn't fit because the bracelet was far too large. Take this bad boy out. The other watch my mom gave me, and put this bad boy on. Okay. And it is too tight. Wow. Look at that. So now, hey man, this is just sizing a bracelet, okay? Now we're gonna bring this tool back over. I usually do the bottom links. I'll add from the bottom. I don't know why, it's just something I always do. zoom back out. Let's grab this bad boy and throw her on the wrist. So that fits pretty nice. It's a little tiny tight, a little bit tight. Feel it. But I think if I add another link, it will be too loose. And that, I spoke about this in my video where I unboxed this. That's the problem with these bracelets. So I'm in the house right now. I'm in an air-conditioned house. If I wear this outside in the summer, I am going to have higher blood pressure, right? And my skin is gonna expand, and this thing is gonna start to feel tight. And there's no micro adjusts. So, I mean, that's kind of the problem with this type of bracelet. Little garbo. I don't know why brands make this. It's junk. I think these bracelets are junk, but it is what it is. That's how they sent it. There's not much I can do about it. I could probably change this into a different type of clasp, but I don't know, that might be some work. So now I'm thinking, should I add another one? Let's see what it's like with another one. I wanted this video to be short, but here we go. No, it's not. That one doesn't want to settle. We're gonna do something. What we're gonna do? Give it a tiny hammer. All right, she's settled. She's in there. Pull that damn sticker. We're gonna pull that piece of plastic and get her running. And then we're gonna throw her on the wrist. Yeah, that's a bit better. She's loose, right? I feel she's kind of loose. But I can get one finger in there, but I can't really get two. And that's generally how your watch is supposed to be. Okay. Pretty good looking. It's almost, that case shape is almost a Tissot PRX, right? Don't you agree? But that's a good looking watch. Not too bad, not too bad. But anyway, that's how you size a bracelet. No big deal. Not a huge fan of this type of bracelet, but you know, when you get a watch as a gift, there's not a whole lot of options. And the way this is set up, there's probably not an option for leather. But if there is, and if I could find one, maybe we'll do something about that. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's it for me in this video. Tell me what you think if you buy this watch. Pretty good looking watch. Nice and shiny. That dial is really nice. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. And also, don't forget to share with your friends, because keep in mind, if you start talking about watches, let's say you're interested in watches, you start talking about watches with your friends, right? There's a really good chance they're going to start to be interested in watches. And then you'll have a watch friend that likes to talk about watches or gets interesting watches, and then you get to see their interesting watches. So share this stuff, you know? Be a pal. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.